What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Love at Lockup Season 3, Episode number 4, you guys. This episode is titled Rule Breakers and Love Makers, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, I'm going to need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys can do me that favor by liking this video, subscribe to my channel, turning on your post notifications, sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Love After Lockup, shall we? So I'm going to get Rick and Radine out of the way real quick because it wasn't a lot with them in this episode. So we can go ahead and just get them out the way because the bulk of the episode was everyone else but Rick and Radine. So, Rick and Radine, they're having Thanksgiving, right? Why did Rick's roommate, Ramona, show up? I was thrown off by Ramona showing up to Thanksgiving dinner. I was like, wow. So y'all literally invited a stranger that y'all don't know? Wouldn't have been me. And then what got even weirder was when I looked on the table, I was like, wait a minute. Child, they even had Kay at Thanksgiving. I'm like, I know y'all fucking lying. So, Rick is here. Okay, Rick is rating his boyfriend. Rick's roommate and best friend, Ramona, is here. Interesting. Then, we got Kay, Rick's girlfriend's girlfriend, on a video chat. I was like, oh my God. And then that food, like I said in last week's review, that food just looked hella nasty. I'm so sorry to Radine's mama and daddy. But yeah, that food looked nasty. And then in one part of the episode, I saw the dog at the go under the dining room table. I was like, oh hell nah. This is why I don't do potlucks. Like, this is literally the reason that I don't do potlucks. Baby, no. Radine, do you know what you identify as, my love? Because you said you're gay. Your daddy said you're bi. Then your daddy said he caught you with two girls. I think he said in the shed or something like that. I was like, well, Radine. Oh, God. And then we saw that one scene when Radine and Rick left and they went to go have sex. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I just can't get past Radine's meth mouth. It's terrible. Her meth mouth. No shade to Radine. No shade to Radine. But, girl, your meth mouth. Oh, her meth mouth, right? So we see that they woke up to each other the next morning. I was like, ooh, y'all woke up with each other. Okay. But Radine said she was thinking about Kay. I was like, oh, yeah, Radine, you're a lesbian. It's okay. It is okay to be a lesbian. It is okay. It is okay. Now, she did tell us that she and Kay had been in a relationship for 4 years. I'm like, damn. And Rick just not finding out? Okay. Now Rick is Rick is now starting to feel some type of way about it. I'm like, well, I honestly can't say I blame Rick. I really can't say I do. I really can't say I do. All right, you guys. So I'm going to pause here and we're going to move forward. Let's talk about next. Oh. Because I just realized it gets worse and worse as I go. Let's talk about Kayla Martel real quick, you guys. So we see Kayla. So Kayla is out to lunch with Martel's mother, right? So, I did at first like the interaction with Kayla and Martel's mama. But then it soon quickly changed just a little bit, not that much. But it did change, right? So while Martel was in prison, right? They were very supportive of each other. While he was locked down, if Kayla needed a break, his mama would step in. If his mama needed a break, Kayla would be there to step in, right? Now, I did feel bad for Kayla when Kayla was talking about her parents. I don't know if I think this is what she was saying, but I couldn't quite grasp what she was saying. I know she said her dad had cancer, and I think the cancer, it's why he passed away, right? And then she said her mother passed away last December, I believe she said. I'm like, oh my God, that poor girl. Like, I know what that feeling is like to lose your parents. Like, I know that feeling. Her brothers don't know about Martel. I was like, oh, girl, your brothers don't know about him. I wonder how your brother's gonna feel when they watch this show. They ain't gonna be too happy. Now, here's where Martel's mama kind of lost me. Is when Martel's mom was talking to Kayla about the fact that she don't know if well, she didn't really say it to Kayla. She said it to us that she doesn't know if Martel can be faithful. Well, why do you want this girl to like this girl's already gave up 13 years of her life to this nigga, and you don't know if he can be faithful? Like, I have an issue with that. That's why I wish Kayla had not. I'm glad Kayla had sex with somebody a year ago, because I don't think Martel is that good for her, right? Because obviously Martel is talking to other women. It's obvious. Obvious. But you don't want her to have sex with another man. How selfish are you? Like, absolutely not. And then we saw Kayla as she went to go pick up Martel from the halfway house, right? So he has some time that he can get out of the halfway house, right? So I think she said he had about 2 days, right? So he's going to go to her apartment. Now, when Martel got to her apartment, Martel was on one, right? Child, people named Martel. First, we got Martel Holt on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then we got this Martel. Ain't shit, right? So when Martel got into the apartment, Martel looked at her stove. He was like, ugh, when is the last time you used your stuff? She said, yesterday. Now, she said she had to rush to come and pick him up, so she tried to make something to eat. And he's making a big fuss about her stove. I'm like, they look like salt. I'm like, it look like salt, sugar, some spices. Like, if you that offended by it, dust it off. Clean it yourself. Like, the fuck? Then he told her she could do a load of laundry. I was like, all this coming from a nigga that just got out of prison. The audacity. Nigga, you've been sleeping in a cell for the last 13 years. The fuck? He did all that so he can get out that apartment. He didn't want to stay there with her because he called someone to come pick him up. She said, did you call somebody to come pick you up? He said, yes. And he left. He probably left with another woman. I want her to get out of that situation. That's all I got to say. A lot of these women, I want them to get out of these situations. She's one of them, and Taylor is the other one. And with that, we're going to pause here, and we're going to move forward. All right, you guys, let's talk about Taylor real quick. I really want... Now, I said I want Kayla to get out of her situation. I desperately want Taylor to get out of her situation with Chance. For her and for her daughters, right? Like, I have an issue with these women. And again, I keep saying it every week, right? I have an issue with these women, especially when you have young daughters, right? Why would you introduce your young daughter to a man that you barely fucking know? I just have an issue with that, right? Like, if I'm dating someone and they got kids, I'm not gonna want to meet your kids right away, right? Me and you have to get to know each other and see what's there. And maybe 6 months down the line, if we're in a good space, then yes, I would love to meet your kids, right? I'm not going, I'm not spending the night. You're not spending the night with me. And I wouldn't get to that comfortability until a year and a half in, maybe, even if that. But absolutely not. Especially when it comes, you women, mothers, you gotta be protective of your daughters. So Chance wanted Taylor to eat some of the pizza, and she said she wasn't hungry, and this fool has a fucking fit because she didn't want the pizza. I was like, why are you doing this over some pizza? If she ain't hungry, she's not hungry. You can't force her to eat. Girl, get out of this. I don't know how you don't see that this man is controlling. Like when you were talking about when he was in prison, if you didn't answer the phone, he would call you back repeatedly until you answered, and he asked, girl, get out of this situation. Get out of it. Like, I actually, when she went and asked Bobby, did she want to come eat pizza with them? Bobby said, no. I didn't blame Bobby, not one bit. Not one part of me blamed Bobby. Taylor, get out of this situation, baby. Please get yourself out of that situation, because it's just not a good one. It's not a good one. Get yourself out of it ASAP. Please, baby. Get out of it. So then we see another scene in this episode with him, and Chance has numbers from the women that he's communicated with when he was in prison. I was like, why do you still have their numbers? That makes no sense. And then he wanted to joke talking about those are his cousins. And then he had the the gall, the gumption, the audacity when he was sitting there talking about Taylor to the producers. I'm gonna repeat to y'all what this fool said to her, said to the producers, right? He had options when he was in prison with different women, right? Some of those women had no kids, they had careers, and they don't have a lot of bills. And I was like, I know you fucking lying to me. Those women have no kids, careers, and don't have a lot of bills. So then stack up what those women got, right? And let's just talk about what you got. You got a criminal history. You are a recovering drug addict. You ain't got no job. You have nowhere to stay. What's better? Taylor has 3 kids. Okay, nothing's wrong with that. Taylor has a place to stay. Oh, if you weren't staying with Taylor, where would you be? I'm assuming Taylor got a job. Oh, and also Taylor got you your job. So yeah. Who's winning, buddy? Well, technically it's you. Technically it's you, because Taylor really ain't winning. She's losing. But yeah, buddy. So whose resume is better? Taylor, your resume, which is in hell. Like, I would have told him go to fucking hell. And then he further pissed me off when he was talking about Taylor's ex-fiance, right? About the fact that Taylor has pictures of him on her Facebook, on her phone, and in the house, right? You do realize that her ex-fiance is the father of her 2 oldest kids, right? So it's nice for those kids to see their father, since they will never, and I mean never, be able to see their father ever again. Their father was taken from them in an accident. Like, how insensitive can you fucking be? Talking about, does she still have feelings for him? I would hope so. Just because a person is dead doesn't mean that your feelings die for them, right? Now, could Taylor be grieving? Absolutely. It depends on how long ago he died. But Chance is so insensitive. Taylor, do you and your kids the biggest favor you can do and get the fuck out of that situation with Chance. Chance is a piece of shit. Piece of shit. You fucking bitch. You piece of shit. Like, he's a piece of shit. Girl, get out of that. Get the fuck out of that situation. Alright, guys, I'm going to pause here and we're going to move forward. Oh, God, why did I save up for next to last? You guys, let's talk about this dumbass fool, Indy. So, Indy and her daughter, Coco, they wake up. She's asking Indy, where is Poppy Daddy? I really want that baby to stop saying that. Like, I really need for Indy to nip that in the bud. Like, girl, tell your child that is not her father. Like, I just don't get it. Like, girl, tell that child that that is not her father. That is so weird. So, you guys, this lady, she's walking, right? And she just literally stopped right here by my car. I'm gonna turn it around so you guys can see her. Can you guys see her? Indy, stop having your child call that man Poppy Daddy. That is not her father. I know you said her father ain't in her life, but girl, Harry ain't her daddy. I'm just gonna say that. Harry is not her fucking daddy. So Harry stayed out all night, right? He didn't come back to his sister's house. Harry wants to go back to jail. That's basically all I can say about Harry. Harry wants to go back to jail. Because Harry told her he was smoking and drinking. I'm like, stuff you ain't supposed to be doing. Okay. So he got upset with her. I'm like, girl, if this nigga want to go back to jail, let him go back to jail. Like, fuck it. Like, a hard head makes for a soft ass. That's all I got to say. And then also with Harry, when he was in his interview with the producers, I look at his eyes. They were bloodshot red. And then his pupils were dilated too. I was like, oh, Harry is high as fuck. So then we see the family. They're doing a redo of release night with the exception of Indy. She's not there, right? So he asked his family, what do they think of Indy, right? I think his family, I don't know what his family thinks about Indy. I know they probably think she's an idiot, which the rest of us do, right? Indy is an idiot. Because I just don't get it, girl. Why? Why did you uproot your child and your life to come be with the man that you don't know, a man that ain't got shit. Even his sister said he ain't got no job. Girl, and you moved out here, he can't provide nothing for you, right? So I do feel bad for Harry because we did find out a little bit about Harry and his stepfather, that his stepfather did abuse them when they were kids. And I was like, oh, that's why Harry's so angry. They don't want Harry to play Indy. Girl, that's too late. So then we see this dumb fool Indy. Indy, you are a complete dumbass. Like, I just don't know I don't know any nicer way to say it, but Indy is a dumbass, right? Why the fuck did Indy have Harry driving that damn car? This motherfucker just got out of prison. He ain't got no driver's license the first, and then you driving with out of state tags. That gives the police red flag that they just want to pull you over. If they want to pull you over just for the fuck of it, they be like, oh, you're driving over here with different plates on your tags on your car. Or, are you visiting? Like, and Harry got a ticket. I'm like, Harry, you're lucky you got a ticket and they didn't take your ass back to fucking jail because you have no license. Like, girl, Indy is dumb. Indy is dumb. Indy is dumb. Indy is dumb. Then she's talking about you want to go see a psychic. Now, here it made sense in this scene with the psychic. He didn't want to go see a psychic because he feels that the psychic is a crock of bullshit. I was like, finally, someone told this girl that they might just be telling you what you want to hear. Just saying. But hey, you guys, that's going to... Nope, that's not it. We're going to pause here and we're going to wrap up the episode. Child, we move back over to Texas. Whoa, these people in Texas. With Rick and Radine, I don't know where... I saw them where the city that they said they're in. I just don't have any idea where the fuck it is. And I know Texas very well, but I just don't know where that city is. So I don't know if they're in West Texas. I don't know if they're in West Texas, North Texas. I don't know where they are. I really don't. I know they're not in Houston. I know they're not in East Texas. They're not here in East Texas either. So they gotta be somewhere between West Texas and and like outskirts of Dallas and Fort Worth, right? I have to look it up again. But hey, we move over to Kevin, who I know where Kevin is. Kevin's in Arlington, right? Kevin has his mama come over to his crib, right? He tells his mama that, Tiffany, she ain't been acting the same since she got out of prison. That's because Tiffany got somebody new in her life. And it ain't you. So then we see Kevin getting ready. And we also see Curtis. Child, Curtis' name is spelled with a K. I was like, oh, okay. Curtis made a Texas-shaped waffle for Tiffany. Tiffany is beautiful when we saw Tiffany. I'm like, oh, Tiffany is cute. Child, when he was driving, he put his elbow in that damn waffle. I was just like, ugh. I'm like, I hope you ain't gonna give her that waffle. I hope you throw that waffle out, or at least you eat it. I didn't understand the significance of the waffle, but hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So Kevin got some big Curtis got some big pointy ass ears. So then we see Kevin, he pulls up to the halfway house, and so does Curtis, right? Child, it went downhill from there. Because Kevin said he know Curtis from the city. I was like, oh. Then Tiffany came out, walked right by Kevin, and got in the car with Curtis, right? Child, Curtis and Kevin had a back and forth with each other. She got out the car. She went and got into the car with the producer. And I will say, Kevin, you were very disrespectful to this woman. You called her a bitch and a hoe more than once. But the caveat of this episode was when Kevin and Curtis got into it. Curtis was talking about how small he was. He looked like a third grader. Kevin said, get your hand on my face. I'm going to lay your pussy ass out. He said, you going to lay me out? Do it. He said, boom. And Curtis said, flop. I was like, oh my God. He literally laid this dude out. I was like, oh my God. Fucking hilarious, you guys. That is the episode. Please let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications. Share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.